Hello everybody, and welcome to another Mannun's Minute, where I want to talk about something that comes up quite a bit in the occult community, especially for people who are newer to the path. And that question is, am I doing ritual or spell work correctly? If I had $1 for every message, comment, or email I've gotten asking that exact thing, I'd be in a very different tax bracket right now. And honestly, I get why people worry about it. When you're starting out, everything feels fragile. Like one wrong word, one misstep, one candle in the wrong place, and the whole thing falls apart. So let's get into the nitty-gritty and talk about it like normal people, not like we're reading instructions off the back of a box. First thing I want to say right out of the gate that most people stress way too much about doing ritual right, so to speak. And ironically, that stress is usually what gets in the way more than anything else. A lot of this comes from how ritual is presented online and in books. You'll see beautifully written rituals laid out step by step, almost like recipes. Do this first, say this next, don't forget this line, stand this way, face that direction. And when you're new, it feels like those steps are sacred rules instead of examples. You think, well, if this person wrote it and published it, they must know exactly what they're doing. And sure, they probably do, for them. But here's what doesn't get said enough. Those rituals are someone else's structure, someone else's rhythm, someone else's comfort zone. They're not universal laws handed down on stone tablets. They're tools, and tools are meant to be used, adjusted, and sometimes set aside when they no longer fit your hands. Ritual didn't start as something clean and polished. It didn't start with perfect scripts or matching candles. Ritual started because humans were trying to connect with something bigger than themselves. They were scared, curious, hopeful, grieving, celebrating. They used what they had around them: fire, food, movement, words spoken from the gut. And most of the time, those words weren't memorized, they were felt. Somewhere along the lines, we turned ritual into something people feel they can fail at, and that's a problem. Another thing I see constantly is this fear of messing something up, like there's some invisible authority standing nearby with a clipboard, waiting to mark you down because you skipped a line or stumbled over a phrase. And that mindset doesn't come from spiritual practice. It comes from anxiety. It comes from being afraid of doing something wrong instead of being present in what you're doing. Let me be blunt for a second. Perfection is not the goal of ritual. Presence is. Are you actually there while you're doing it? Are you stuck in your head worrying about what comes next? Because a simple ritual done with focus and sincerity will always carry more weight than a complicated one done while you're panicking inside. And let's talk about mistakes, because this is very important. You will forget words. You will knock something over. You will lose your place, sneeze mid-sentence, or feel awkward standing there wondering, what the hell are my hands supposed to be doing right now, or something like that. That doesn't mean the ritual failed. It means you're alive. I've been doing this a long time, and I can tell you right now, seasoned practitioners mess things up too. The difference is they don't spiral over it. They adjust, laugh it off, and keep things going. Experience teaches you that the ritual doesn't collapse just because it didn't go exactly as planned. Another thing that trips people up is this expectation that ritual has to feel a certain way. Big energy, strong sensations, emotional waves. Some people expect fireworks every single time. And when they don't feel anything dramatic, they assume nothing happened. But ritual doesn't always shout. Sometimes it whispers. Sometimes it works quietly in the background. Sometimes the effect shows up days later, not in the moment. Silence doesn't mean failure. Subtle doesn't mean weak. There's also this pressure to copy what other people are doing. Someone sees a ritual online and thinks, well, if that worked for them, I should do it exactly the same way. But your connection, your focus, your inner world isn't the same as theirs. Rituals should support your way of connecting, not force you into someone else's mold. Consistency is another piece people misunderstand. Doing things the same way over time can help build focus and familiarity. That's true. Repetition can create a groove your mind slips into more easily. But consistency doesn't mean rigidity. It doesn't mean you're stuck forever doing something that no longer feels right just because that's how you started. Your practice should evolve as you evolve. What worked for you at the beginning might feel limiting later, and that's normal. Growth doesn't mean you were wrong before, it just means you've learned. And here's something else that doesn't get talked about enough. Ritual isn't a performance. It's not about impressing anyone. Not other practitioners, not spirits, not the universe. It's a relationship, and relationships don't require flawless wording to function. They require honesty, effort, and attention. So if you find yourself asking, did I do this right? Try asking a better question like, did I show up? Did I mean what I was doing? Did this ritual have personal meaning for me? Was I engaged, even if it felt imperfect? If the answer to those questions is yes, then you're doing absolutely fine. Worrying less doesn't mean caring less. It means trusting yourself more. And trust is built through experience, not fear. The more you practice, the more natural it becomes, the less you cling to scripts, and the more your own voice comes through. Ritual isn't fragile. It doesn't shatter because you paused too long or forgot a word. It's resilient because it comes from you. And the moment you can stop treating it like a test you can fail, it becomes something you can actually grow with. So take a breath. Relax your shoulders. Stop trying to be perfect. You're not here to pass an exam. You're here to connect, to learn, and to build something meaningful over time. And that starts the moment you stop worrying so much about doing it right.